Hey, this week is different. Up until now, I've been telling you about patterns, childhood wounds, silence, trauma bonding. Hmm. But this week we're talking about my marriage. And we're talking about domestic violence. I want to say something clearly before I start. Yes, I am safe now. I survived, and I'm speaking from healing, not from breakdown. And during that time, I was writing, even when I didn't fully understand what I was living through yet. There was a time in my life where love and survival became the same thing, where I believed love meant staying, enduring, understanding, forgiving, holding on, even when it hurt, and it hurt a lot. Even when it wasn't safe, that was a lot too. Even when my body paid the price, mostly my face and my left ear. This week, I'm not sharing to bash anyone though. I'm sharing because silence protects dysfunction. And I've really lived enough of my life in silence. I was married, and inside my marriage, there was control, manipulation, incarceration, dynamics, emotional roller coasters, and eventually physical violence. I shouldn't say eventually because it started 4 months in, but hey, the hardest truth to admit, I loved him a lot. I remember writing something back then that makes more sense to me now than it did at the time. I took his name, but I was slowly losing myself. You can love someone and still be unsafe with them. That's the part people don't talk about. Domestic violence doesn't always start with a punch. It starts with control disguised as care, jealousy disguised as protection, isolation disguised as loyalty, incarceration phone calls that train your emotions, apology cycles that make you question your reality, and eventually, moments that change your life forever. There was a night where I found myself in a closet and my body shut down. We'll talk about that later this week though. But we go before we go there, I need you to understand something. Domestic violence isn't just physical. It's psychological, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and trauma attachment will convince you that surviving something means you're strong enough to stay in it. But survival is not the same as safety, and love should never require survival. I'm also sharing this week through the lens of the work I do now. I'm the founder of Blessing Our Women Inc., a nonprofit organization created to support and empower survivors of domestic violence. And I didn't start that organization because I read about abuse. Hell no. I started it because I lived it, because I survived it, because I know what it feels like to love someone who can also hurt you, because I know what it feels like to stay too damn long, 10 years too long to be exact, because I know what it feels like to leave and have to rebuild. That journey is something I later put into writing once I had the clarity to understand it. So this week is heavy, but it's honest. A little bit might even be raw. And if you're watching this and you are in something that feels confusing, I want you to know you are not crazy. You're not weak. And you are not alone. We're going to walk through this carefully. We're going to walk and talk about control, incarceration dynamics, emotional manipulation, the closet, and not the closet that R. Kelly was talking about, and why I stayed after the violence. But today is just the beginning. This week is about truth, and healing doesn't start with pretending it didn't happen or masking it. It starts with telling it. I'll see you tomorrow when we start to get into week 5. And if you're here for the first time and this or any of my previous videos resonates with you or someone you may know, feel free to subscribe. It's a 12-week journey. Today is the start of week 5. I'll be back tomorrow